Hello, everybody. It is Bryce Lidkey, the chair of the Topeka Youth Commission again. Today, I just want to go over kind of what the Youth Commission is, how we organize ourselves, and then also what are your options, how can you get involved. So the Topeka Youth Commission overall, we are one big group, one big family of youth that works together to support each other. We grow with each other, we learn about leadership, we learn about our community, and ultimately we enact change in our community. But we are a group that actually works while we have fun. So we have fun, yes, but we also get stuff done. And in order to get stuff done, we organize ourselves into 3 different subgroups. And so these subcommittees, as they're called, I'm going to nickname them core classes. The reason I did that is because you are going to have to pick one of these core classes or subcommittees to be involved in. So there's 3 different ones. They all 3 focus on something different, and just keep in mind as I run through each one, I'm going to go to each one in depth. Think about which one you want to be in, because in the end you are going to have to pick one of these. So the first subcommittee, government, which is #politics. If you are into politics, if you think you're going to run for office someday, if you want to be a lawyer or a judge, or you're thinking about that field, this is your area, okay? If you want to be a poli-sci major, here you go. These people in this subcommittee are going to work on drafting and writing legislation. They are going to work really well with the mayor and city council. They're going to work really well with the county commission. You're going to have meetings with all of those people. You're going to be advising them on what the youth want to see. You're going to be looking at policies that they are creating on their level and maybe email them or give them advice on what youth want to see within those policies, okay? It is also important to note up here, top city youth council members, if you are in the top city youth council, you are automatically in the government subcommittee, okay? The top city youth council is a portion within the youth commission that is within our city, so there's 9 members on it. They represent the 9 city council districts, and those 9 members are automatically in the government and politics. You will have a quarterly meeting, which means you meet 4 times a year with the mayor, and then you will meet with your city council member monthly. So if you're in the top city youth council, you're already in the government subcommittee, so just be thinking about that as you are signing up for other jobs, because you already have that time commitment. So some examples of things that youth care about are climate change, gun violence, and mental health. These are all things that I've heard from you guys as you were talking and we were getting to know each other. So if you are in this subcommittee, if you want to change climate change, you might be giving a presentation to the city council or the county commission about how we can better recycle in our community. If you're into gun violence, you might be writing legislation to enact a law to reduce gun violence in some way after you do your research. Mental health, you might be looking at ways that we can decrease teen suicide or give medication to those who need it in low-income areas. Stuff like that. You're going to be advising the city council, the county commission, the mayor, those legislative groups, and then also writing legislation where applicable. In our next subcommittee is outreach. So if you are an event planner, if you live for planning parties, if you just love planning graduation parties, this is your area, okay? These are my event planners, the people that like to organize things. If you care about what color the plates are at an event, this might be the subgroup for you. So the main idea of this subgroup is that they are ready to increase youth participation within our city. One thing we did last year was we created a grub crawl, and what that did was bring over 50 youth downtown Topeka. For just $2, they got to go to 5 different restaurants and sample food from those 5 restaurants. And so the idea was that we increased youth participation downtown. We got people downtown going into our restaurants so they could see our amazing restaurant landscape and how much we do have to offer in Topeka. So if you've ever heard somebody say, I hate Topeka, there's nothing to do here, I want to get out, this is the subcommittee that's going to work on changing that. This is the subcommittee that's going to give youth stuff to do, that is going to enact events that people can get engaged in. So going back to that climate change, gun violence, mental health. Maybe this group creates a 5K where they talk about climate change or gun violence or mental health. Maybe they create an event that is like the battle of the bands, but then they talk about mental health with it. or how music can help with mental health, or maybe they create an event that just really engages youth downtown and gets them excited about something. This is that group that is going to be creating events for youth. Okay? The third and final subcommittee that we're going to talk about that we have at the Youth Commission is community outreach. And this is our volunteer group, and it's the group that we also have fun with as a youth commission. So this group is going to plan volunteering events for the Youth Commission. That means every month or every other month, the Youth Commission, we want to get into our community. We want to show our community that, hey, the youth are invested here, and we're going to do that by volunteering. So climate change, gun violence, mental health. Maybe we pick up the river for climate change, or we volunteer somewhere with gun violence, or we volunteer at Family Servants and Guidance Center for mental health. Something like that. Plan volunteering events. You're also going to create fun bonding experiences. So maybe it's a movie night, maybe it's a pool party, maybe it's a bonfire. Every month we want to have a bonding event that the Youth Commission can get together, get to know each other more, and just have fun. No work, no strings attached. This is the committee that is going to want to do that. And then the overall idea is that we get involved in our community. So I know that was really quick, but just a reminder, you do have to pick one of these subcommittees to be in, one of these core classes. They are the core of the Youth Commission. It's the three main ways we are organized. You must choose one. You can choose all three, but just know each one is going to have additional meetings. So if you have a lot going on already, maybe only pick one, or at least for now, only pick one. Okay, so you have government, outreach, and community outreach. Feel free to watch this video as many times as you want until those make sense. So now that we've talked about core classes, I want to go into our extracurricular activities. Just like in school, extracurricular activities are not necessary. They are not required, but they do help the Youth Commission out a lot. They are essential for the Youth Commission to run, and you all are my favorite because you help us run efficiently. So I want to go into these extracurricular activities. Remember, these are not necessary, but if you are good at any of these, I would love to have you. First, and probably the most important, and the subcommittee or the extra group that we need to get running immediately, is our social media team. This is a team dedicated to promoting what the Youth Commission is and what its members are doing on a regular basis. So we don't want somebody that's going to make an Instagram post on the first of the month and then wait 17 days and post another one, but then we post one every day for 3 days and then wait a week. We want to have a regular basis, every day, every other day, every 3 days, something that's regular that people can get used to, that we can increase our social media following. Okay, so if you are on this subcommittee, if Canva is your best friend, canva.com, or you're really good at Photoshop, this is your subcommittee, right? We need people that can make cool social media posts. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We need all three of those to have the same message regularly, and we need to have cool, engaging posts, okay? We also have a monthly newsletter that goes out to all of our supporters, all of our allies, both adults and youth, including all your principals and teachers that sign up for it. So we need somebody that can create a newsletter. And then finally, the Youth Commission has a YouTube page, but right now we have 2 kind of fun videos and then also 2 really boring videos of me talking. And I would really love to see us create some more fun videos, get youth engaged downtown, show what Topeka has to offer through ways of videos and fun videos. So if you are on your social media a lot, if you're really good at creating social media, if you are a journalist, if you do yearbook, newspaper, that sort of thing in your school, please consider this. They don't necessarily have in-person meetings, but it is something that you're going to be on your phone a lot. You're going to be Snapchatting and all these different sorts of things, trying to increase our following, trying to get people engaged in our community, and trying to create really cool content. Our second extracurricular activity within the Youth Commission is fundraisers. So I know some of you talked about you really love math. Here's how you apply it in the real world. It's also a really good way to make those connections. You're going to be talking with CEOs of organizations. You're going to be talking with the mayor. You're going to be talking with presidents. You're going to be talking with these really important people in Topeka and these really important stakeholders, and you're going to get your name to them. So maybe you talk to the CEO of the Topeka Community Foundation. Well, when you're a senior, they give out scholarships. So maybe now that you've made that connection, you might have a better chance at a scholarship. Or if you're looking for a summer job and you just asked a credit union or Advisors Excel and now they have a job opening, you can be like, hey, I talked to your CEO, he recommended me. And so you make these really cool connections that pay off later. Their main jobs in this subcommittee is to raise money, talk with partners. There's also a cool opportunity to design shirts with a local agency and create a fundraiser out of that. And I know immediately you see the word fundraising and you're like, absolutely not. I don't think it is cool. It's boring. I don't like it. Keep in mind, this is not like your school fundraising. We're not selling great value cards. We're not selling these little candles or trash bags to get money. We are talking face to face at the same table as adults, trying to get them to sponsor the Youth Commission. Again, you might not think it's cool, but think about how cool it would be if we could send 5 members every year on a trip to LA or New Orleans or New York or Oregon for free to go to a youth engagement event. That's awesome if we can send people on free trips across the nation. Also, some youth commissions give money to their members for coming to a meeting. So you come to a meeting, you get a stipend. How cool would that be if you got paid to do your job at the Youth Commission instead of just having it be volunteer? And then also our events, we can get into events for free if we get enough money. So all options within the Youth Commission if we have a strong fundraising presence. Finally, what would you like? We are a fluid group. We can move. If there's a certain skill that you think you could do something really cool for the Youth Commission, let's talk about it. Let's see if we can work it out. Because we are a fluid group, we're not rigid. So if you think, hey, I'm a really good artist and I think I can do this, this, and this for the Youth Commission, let's start a group, a club, whatever you want to call it, extracurricular, and get it going. So I know that was a lot of information coming at you very fast. I'm a fast talker. But here's what you need to do next step. Feel free to watch this video as many times as you need to get it solidified in your brain what each section is. Then, 1, think about where you can be beneficial for the Youth Commission. If there's a certain place you excel, that's where we want you to be. We want you to get outside of your comfort zone, but we also want you to be somewhere where you can make an impact and a positive impact in your community. Second, where would you be happiest? Excel, be happy, kind of the same thing. Where are you going to be the best fit? Number 3, if you have questions, please let me know now, okay? I would rather answer 20 questions now than you sign up for a group and then drop out 2 weeks later because it's not what you thought it was. That creates a lot of havoc, and we can figure that out. We can move around after you're in, but if at all possible, I would rather everybody stay where they are after they decide. So if you have any questions that you're on the fence about, please ask me now. 4th, go to the Google form that I sent you in the group chat and fill out what you want. So there's going to be an option for you to choose a core class, which you have to choose one of those. You can choose up to 3, no less than 1. And then you can choose any extracurriculars that you want to be involved in. Please go into that Google form and fill that out, okay? Preferably before our meeting, our monthly meeting. Number 5, keep in mind officer positions will be available. So each one of these subgroups needs to have leadership in it. So if you are looking to maybe build your resume a little bit, but also if you're willing to work and work hard, manage people, learn some skills, each one of these subcommittees, these extracurriculars, is going to need a chair to run it and keep people on task. So if you're into that, just keep in mind that will be coming later. So I know this was a lot of information. Please remember you have to choose one of these core classes. Feel free to go back as many times as you need until you understand. And then extracurriculars, they are not necessary, but they are essential to making the Youth Commission run as normal. So that is the TYC at a glance. Please let me know if you have any questions. And make sure you go on to that Google form and you sign up for the positions that you want. Thank you and have a great day.